Interest dropped again in September as we predicted. Let's find out where we are heading. As you all know, my friends, that we are running a promotion that when we reach 2,000 subscribers, we'll pick one name from the list of subscribers and the winner will get a $250 Costco gift certificate. The name of the winner will be announced on this channel. And I want to thank you all for the super success of all my videos. My last video on the first time home buyers has already hit 20,000 views. I thank you all for that, and friends, since you are watching my videos in those numbers, please just hit the subscribe button as well. You will enter a chance to win the Costco gift certificate, and wishing you all the best for the same. Coming back on today's topic. In September 2024, the Bank of Canada announced a 25 basis points cut to its policy interest rate, bringing it down now to 4.25%. This was the Bank of Canada's third consecutive rate cut following earlier reductions in June and July as part of its effort to address easing inflation pressures and stimulate the Canadian economy. Now, the Bank of Canada has cited broad-based inflationary relief as a key reason for the cuts, though some sectors such as housing continue to see price increases that complicate the overall inflation picture. Economists widely anticipate further rate cuts through the rest of 2024, with many predicting policy rate could fall to around 3.75% by the year end. Now, this series of cuts is seen as a response to declining inflation both in Canada and the US, with Canadian inflation dropping to 2.5% in July of 2024. Now, many experts expect that the Bank of Canada to maintain its easing stance into 2025 as well, aiming to stabilize inflation at its 2% target and provide more affordable lending conditions. Now, despite the cuts, the Canadian housing market remains sluggish, particularly in high demand areas like Vancouver and Toronto, where sales and prices have not significantly responded to the lower interest rates. Many analysts believe that more reductions will be needed before the broader economy, including the real estate sector, sees noticeable improvements. But buyers remain hesitant, with many adopting a wait-and-see approach, anticipating further cuts. Now, the recent data has increased our confidence that inflation will continue to move towards the 2% target. Nonetheless, risks to the inflation outlook remain. Governing Council is closely watching the evaluation of core inflation and remains particularly focused on the balance between demand and supply in the economy, inflation expectations, wage growth, and corporate pricing behavior. The bank remains resolute in its commitment to restoring price stability for Canadians. Many economists expect the Bank of Canada to continue its rate-cutting path, especially if inflation remains controlled and the economic growth remains sluggish. Some forecasts predict additional cuts at the Bank of Canada's meetings in October and December 2024 as well, which could bring the rate down to 3.75%. Now, friends, if you're liking this video, please smash the like button. Many others who have the same good tastes as yourself will be able to view this video. In summary, the third rate cut by the Bank of Canada has set the stage for a potentially softer economic environment with more accessible borrowing costs. However, its broader effects, particularly on the housing market and economic growth, will take time to unfold, and further cuts may be necessary to fully stabilize the economy. As a result of this rate cut, homeowners now with a variable rate mortgage could see more of their money going towards the principal amount on their mortgage and less towards the interest. That means a homeowner could possibly pay off their mortgage faster in an environment than it was in the higher rate conditions. Now, for homeowners on a fixed rate mortgage, this rate cut may be helpful but might not ease all affordability concerns because their mortgage is already locked in whatever rate, but the cost of living apart from the mortgage is going to be helpful for them as well. Now, even if the interest rates are starting to come down, people who have fixed rate mortgages that are up for renewal may renew at a rate that is higher than what they had before, especially if they secured a mortgage during the thick of the pandemic when interest rates were at historic lows. The decision to reduce the interest rate comes amid several economic challenges. Chief among them is the sluggish growth in domestic and global markets. Recent data indicated that Canada's GDP growth has been slower than expected in the first quarter of 2024, with significant contractions in key sectors such as manufacturing and retail. Now, the inflation rates have also been a concern. While inflation had peaked earlier in the year, it has since shown signs of moderating. The central bank aims to ensure that inflation remains within its target range of 2%, and these rate cuts are part of this broader strategy to manage price stability. Additionally, the global economic outlook has been clouded by uncertainties, including geopolitical tensions and trade disruptions. Now, these factors have collectively contributed to a more cautious economic environment, prompting the Bank of Canada to take preemptive action to support growth. Now, this third consecutive reduction in the interest rate is expected to have several immediate and long-term effects on the Canadian economy. And the first, it will not only stimulate the borrowing and spending in Canada, it will also encourage investment and lead to currency depreciation. I have discussed all this in detail in my previous videos as well. You can check. All this is available on my website and YouTube. Now, financial markets have responded positively to these consistent rate cuts. Investors seemed reassured by the central bank's commitment to supporting the economy. The lower interest rates generally translate to reduced mortgage rates, making borrowing cheaper for prospective home buyers. This reduction in financing costs can lower monthly mortgage payments, making home ownership more accessible to a broader range of buyers. In Ontario itself, where housing affordability has been a pressing issue, this could lead to increased demand for homes. Now, the first-time home buyers in particular are likely to benefit from these rate cuts as well. With lower mortgage rates, the barriers to entering the housing markets are reduced, potentially leading to a surge in home purchase applications. This increased demand could drive up home prices in short term as more buyers compete for available properties. Now, the reduction in the interest rate is expected to spur overall activity in the housing market. Sellers might find it easier to attract buyers, leading to quicker sales and potentially higher sale prices. Real estate agents and brokers may also see increased business as both buying and selling activities pick up. Lower interest rates can also make real estate investments more attractive. Investors looking into purchase rental properties or engage in real estate development may find it more feasible to finance their projects. This could lead to an increase in the supply of rental properties, potentially stabilizing or even reducing rental prices in the longer term. Now, additionally, lower borrowing costs might encourage more foreign investment in Ontario's real estate market. International investors, attracted by relative affordability of borrowing and the stability of the Canadian economy, might contribute to increased demand for high-end and commercial properties as well. So, in conclusion, I can say that the Bank of Canada's interest rate cut is poised to have a substantial impact on the Ontario real estate market. By making borrowing more affordable, the rate reduction is likely to stimulate demand, increase market activity, and attract investments as well. However, stakeholders must remain vigilant about potential market imbalances and the risk of rising household debt. Also, I can predict that just before the fall of 2024, these rate reductions will fuel consumers' sentiment and people who have been holding back will come to the fore and take advantage. This will also pump the refinance market, as I already predicted so many times. People who have been stuck with credit card debt and higher rates on mortgages can now refinance and pay off the debt and make their life better. All this money that is saved from high interest payments will go into consumer spending and will increase the GDP of Canada. So friends, if you're looking to refinance your mortgage as debt has piled up and you need some extra cash in these extremely tough times, you are exactly where you want to be. Take advantage of this scenario. And for people who are looking to enter the market, there is no better time, as these rate cuts will not only improve inventory, the cost of borrowing will be low, and finally people who were not qualifying will get qualified for a mortgage as well. Should you have any questions about all these, please feel free to call me back and we will discuss all your concerns. Take advantage, friends, of this current scenario and save money for your family. When you call me, we will discuss how this current scenario will benefit you, and looking forward to all your queries. Stay blessed, be safe, and see you very soon in the next video with another topic. Thank you very much.